Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if by chance you are on the call or struggling to get on the call or your internet's not working or something, this should be recording so we can go ahead and have it, the link sent to you later. I've got my Facebook open, so go ahead and write on the message thread if you need to. Oh, there's one. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have some people on. All right, so the first thing I just thought I would do is introduce myself a little bit more. My name's Morgan, obviously, because we've been chatting on Facebook or by email for the last at least day, if not a couple days. And I just actually finished a stint as a mature student, and I did a 4-year business degree. So I'm literally just coming off of that and getting my fitness business into swing. As you may have saw on the ebook, I just started Wildly Fit in December 2013, so it's fairly young. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I'm currently working on my nutrition certification. And I've got a whole bunch of different things that I do for health and fitness right now. I teach boot camp through Fit Chicks. I lead a Wildly Fit running group in the summer. I coach an online 8-week training program called PIO, and I'm going to be adding another online program called the 21-Day Fix, which is nutrition and exercise. And I'm also the Burn and Brave Farms, which is an egg farming company, their health and fitness ambassador for 2015. So I've got a whole bunch of different things that I'm doing right now, and this 5-day group is a really awesome way to join in with you guys to kind of focus on stringing together 5 really good days of healthy habits, 5 days of being committed, because sometimes it's hard to put 5 days together. And even though January is supposed to be the time where we kind of fit everything in and kick off the health and fitness and make it a priority, it's not always easy to do 5 days together. So that's why we're doing that. I'm so happy to have Kathy and Stephanie in the group who did a 21-day program that was similar to this in December, and they're coming back for January because after the holidays, of course, everyone wants to put in 5 good days together. So I've got your questions from Facebook, and I have set up on the Google Hangout app, and I'm looking at it, so I hope that you can see it, is a question area at the right-hand side. So if you see that question area and you can type into it, go ahead and type into it. And first what I want to do is just go over a couple of things. Well, actually, this is second because first was the introduction. But go over a couple of things from the ebook. And if we've got questions, we can always chat about that as we go. So let's see. So first things first, one of the things that I wrote was optional was taking measurements or weighing yourself or photos. And whether you're going to go on past these 5 days, I would say if you are, which I think everyone is, taking photos, measurements, or weighing yourself at this time is a really great way to find a starting point. Now, I say all 3 of those things, but where I find people see the biggest difference is by taking photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post some instructions about how to take photos so that you can track your progress if that's something you're interested in. But by all means, if you're okay with the scale, go ahead and use the scale. Or the link that I'm going to post with the photo instructions also is going to have measurement instructions too. And the reason I say that is you just kind of want to make sure that you see some progress, because it's really good for just feeling good about yourself, and it's also good to inspire you to keep going. So I just got a Facebook message. Let me see. Okay. So I started messaging orally. Arlie? Okay. So that was kind of one of the things I wanted to touch on. It's totally optional, and if all you're looking for is to string together your 5 days and you want a group to do it, we're good. We've got you. We're all together. But if you want to do any type of tracking, then I want to make sure that I help you with that. So the Start Wild Basics, the framework for this is work out every day. So if you haven't got your work in done today, you might still have some time to do it, especially if you're watching this from the West Coast, which I know at least one person is from the West Coast in the group. So work out every day, 5 times, Monday to Friday, and you're going to do each of those workouts for at least 20 minutes. Choose your own workout, whatever you feel is best. I've got some workout examples in the ebook for you, or if you already know what you like, then go ahead and do those too. It's about stringing 5 of them together. Hot water and lemon. I really hope you try that this morning. It's probably one of my favorite healthy habits, and there's just something about how you start your day that makes you feel powerful for the next however many hours you're awake, 12, 15, hopefully not too many more hours. And this is something I've been doing for years and years. So it's detoxifying for you, it's hydrating in the morning, and I find it's just really, really refreshing. Also food. So you have a food journal and food categories. And those food categories are the, let me pull up the journal here. So your lean proteins, your healthy fats, your starchy carbs, and your fruit. I don't have it up yet, as you can see. Okay. Vegetables, starchy vegetables and grains, fruit, protein, and healthy fats. So what you want to do is you want to focus specifically on these categories. And for these 5 days, focus not on packaged food or on junk food or things like that. So I'm going to just check here again. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Orly, you're on. So you know that I just saw your message. Okay. So I'm going to keep going through the ebook. So like I said, what I want to say is focus on these specific food groups. It doesn't mean that every single food that you eat has to be on this list. This is a list of a bunch of examples of common foods that people like to eat under these categories. But judging what's under here, you can probably, if you're eating something else, figure out what it falls under, or ask in the group as well, and we can answer for you. I'll let you know how to record it on your food journal. If you haven't started recording your food journal yet and you can remember what you ate today, I really encourage you to write it down. Now, on average, people will lose more weight. I know that weight loss is not a goal for everyone that's in the group, but it is for some. On average, you will lose more weight by writing down your food versus, just eating what, of course, you think is healthy, and it probably is healthy. But sometimes there's little things in there that you don't realize that you're putting in your mouth, and that could be making you feel a certain way, or weight gain, or stopping your weight loss. They just could be sabotaging you in some way, and you don't even realize that you're doing it through the day. Or another thing that we found in the last group we did in December is so many people were writing down on their food journal, and they realized, oh my goodness, I don't eat any vegetables in the day, or I don't eat any fruit in the day. So it's not just about eating too much of one category, it's also about eating not enough of other categories. For example, some people like to go on a zero carb diet, which I would never recommend. Protein, fat, and carbs, those are your building blocks of all your meals and snacks. Protein, fat, and carbs is what makes your body go. It's kind of like gas in the car. It's your fuel. You need those. And then you've got some of the other food groups for minerals, vitamins, things like that. So, sorry, checking Facebook one more time. I think we're good. Okay. So the morning rituals. So of course I've talked about the hot water and lemon. And if you can do your exercise in the morning, then I would fully encourage you to do that. There's something, again, about feeling powerful when you start your morning in a really healthy way. So if you can do your exercise in the morning, try and get that in. You're going to feel great for the rest of the day. That being said, don't worry if you can't exercise in the morning because you don't have a timer, you're not a morning person, as long as you get it done. Because the best time of day to work out, and I get asked this all the time, the best time of day to work out is whenever you will actually do it. And some people, that's never going to be the morning, and some people, they're never going to feel like it after work. So it's whatever time you schedule it, but do schedule it so you don't just wait to see if it happens. You know it's going to happen, it's in your calendar, and you're going to get there no matter what. Okay, so I really want to go back to talking now about meditation. And meditation, I found the last time I ran a group like this, was something that was the most new of all of the behaviors. So if you've never meditated before, start with just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes on your lunch break, 5 minutes before you go to bed. Whenever you think that, feels natural to you to do it, plug it in and start it. And it may never feel natural right at the beginning, and it may take even a couple of weeks past these 5 days, but meditation is so important to calming you down, finding focus, your breath slows down, your mind slows down, and you get to focus on something that's either important, like a positive mantra, or you can just focus on quieting your mind, which I realize is easier said than done. So I've given you a couple options for some guided meditation. So first, start with your breath. What you want to do with your breathing in meditation is you want to take the breath deep in through the mouth. You're going to go down into the lungs, but where you're actually going to feel it is in your belly. So if you put your hands on your belly right now, take a deep breath, and as you breathe in, you can't see my belly, but as you breathe in, you're going to want your belly to go out. And then you're going to breathe the air out. You're going to take the hands in. So take the air into the lungs, deep down into the belly, hand goes out. And then you're exhaling, and the hands come in, and the breath goes out. And this is a really important thing to do during meditation, and it also teaches you to breathe that way during the day. The deeper your breaths, the more calm you remain. And the deeper your breaths during exercise, the longer you can go during aerobic activity. And also, during exercise, when you're breathing into your chest like this, you're going to be throwing your posture out. And as a trainer and someone that's a chronic pain sufferer and have dealt with a lot of injuries, if you are tilting your body like this during exercise, what ends up happening is you're throwing your alignment totally off, which you don't want to do. You want proper alignment during all your exercise. So that simple thing with breathing down into the belly, keeping your posture good and neutral, not raising the shoulders, not rising the chest, bringing the breath deep down. Practice it during meditation, then practice it while you're at your desk at school, at work, and then start bringing it into your exercise practice as well. The other thing you can do, because like I said, it's not easy to just quiet the mind. So I mentioned positive affirmations, and I've got a couple positive affirmations included in the ebook that I find to be really effective. One is, every day is a new day, and I can reinvent myself every single day. Another one is, I am stronger than I think I am. And another one is, I have everything I need. Now, some of the Motivation Monday quotes that you guys posted in the group today would actually make really good positive affirmations. So this is something to start with. If you can't quiet the mind, think of a phrase or a few phrases and say them over and over to yourself, either in your head or go ahead and do it out loud, even more effective. And do that, set the timer on your phone for 5 minutes and practice saying these things. And the reason why I include this is because if you can't quiet the mind, this is an option, but also 80% of our talk that we say to ourselves is not positive. So 80% is either negative or neutral. That means only 20 of the things that you say to yourself internally are good things. So that 5 minutes a day of saying something nice about yourself, like I am stronger than I think I am, could go a really long way in pushing that 20% up even further. Now, if saying things to yourself or just the breath is not going to work, I've got even more options for you. Heather Waxman is probably one of my favorite albums. Her morning tune, that is on her iTunes album, is just awesome. And I can't remember exactly how much it is, but it's not very expensive. You buy it on iTunes. It's 12 tracks, and you've got a whole bunch of different options. You can meditate in the morning, in the night. What I like to do when I'm short on time is I just do one of her tracks in the morning, usually the morning one. I don't get sick of it. I really like it. And then choose a different one for the evening, or you could string together a couple tracks. If you don't even want to buy anything, you can go on heatherwaxman.com and find her SoundCloud account, and she has some podcasts as well as some guided meditations there. And then a couple other ones I use are On the Mind. On the Mind is offered from York University, which is the university I just stopped attending, by the psychology clinic. So they've got some options there. The UCLA Mindfulness Research Center has like a body scan one, which is really good. And then another one for your phone is calm.com. You could stick your earphones in and listen, you know, on your lunch break, or sometimes I fall asleep to calm.com as well. And they've got like some nature sounds and or guided meditation that you can pair together. And at the end of my mindfulness, or the mindfulness and meditation page, I wrote, just try it. What have you got to lose? So if you didn't do it today, do it before you go to bed and do it again tomorrow. So I realize I've gone on quite a couple, or more than a couple minutes about the meditation and mindfulness, but it really is just so important. And it's the one healthy habit that I think so many people overlook. People think about their exercise, people think about their nutrition and their diet, but they don't always think about their mental health, where their stress levels are, and how they can be more centered and calm. So this is my plea to you to do it. And if you have some ideas about, or some things that work for you, or some questions or ideas that you have about meditation, please share them in the group. I would love to get a discussion going specifically about meditation and mindfulness. Okay, I will stop the play on that one. So I've gone ahead and gone through all of the different pillars of the program now. Just to recap, we're going to focus on food, we're going to focus on workouts, we're going to focus on meditation and mindfulness, and of course the starting early in the morning with your hot water and lemon as a quick, natural little detox. So you've got everything you need as a reminder now, and then everything that I've said is in the ebook. And I totally want you to use this in the future, even past these 5 days. You've got the journal, save the template of that, print as many copies as you need, food journal beyond these 5 days as well. Because what I really want to do, what I love doing during these groups, is either teaching you things that you didn't know, or re-motivating or reigniting healthy habits that you already know and like. And we're together for 5 days, and then you go and you continue that on your own. Or if there is something else, another program that I offer that you're interested in, we can chat about that at the end of the week too. But by all means, you've got so much good info in this ebook, enough to get you through these 5 days at the very least. All right, so one last thing I want to say is I definitely love seeing anytime you are posting on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, if you're sharing things, and I fully encourage you to share some of those recipes, those photos, those workout pics. I totally encourage you to share those outside of just our private group if you feel comfortable doing so. That's really just how I started in health and fitness business. And, you know, I'm certainly not saying that any of you even might want to. But how I got started was all I used to do was write a blog. It was called Life After Bagels. I photographed everything I ate and I stuck it on the blog. And more than now becoming a career for me, what it just did was it kind of got the conversation starting with friends and family about healthy food, about working out, about trying new things. So it's always easier if you're surrounded by people that are trying to make the same healthy habits and choices as you. It's easier if you go out on a Friday night and you have friends that care about, you know, hydrating between drinks, or, you know, that's just an example of a good healthy habit. But if you have friends that have the same focus as you, it's a lot easier to keep those habits going. So when you share on your other social media platforms, it allows them to start a conversation with you, or just feel like, hey, she's doing it or he's doing it, I can do it as well. So if you are going to do that, if you would hashtag Start Wild, then I can take a peek at those as well, because I love seeing them. And if you've seen my Instagram or Facebook page or Twitter, then I post tons and tons and tons of stuff. So I would love to see yours too. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a couple minutes to go through the questions that you asked in the Facebook group. And I see no one's written any questions over at the right-hand side. So at the right-hand side of your screen, you may or may not see, because it's my first on-air Google Hangout, so you may or may not see this question and answer app that I tried to install. If you see it and you have a question, go ahead and type it in there. If you don't see it and you think, what the heck is Morgan talking about, then just ask the question afterwards in the group. But I'm going to bring up the questions that you had already asked earlier in the day, and we will end with that. Okay, so I realized I cut and paste all the questions, but I didn't write down who asked them. So for everyone that asked a question, thank you. The first one was about how long should you wait to work out after eating? Now, it kind of depends on what you are eating. If you are eating an entire meal, you want to give yourself at least an hour. 2 hours would probably get it. It depends on the size of it. Also, if you're having a rich meal, then you for sure are not only going to need some time to, oh, someone just said, I see it. Thank you. I can't see who said I see it. Oh, no, I see it. It's Steph. Thank you, Steph. Okay. So apparently the question app is there if anyone wants to ask one. Okay. So back to the food before a workout, if you're eating a very big meal or a rich meal, not only is it going to take time to digest, what can happen is you're just going to feel kind of bogged down. It's going to feel heavy. You're going to feel sluggish. So if you're eating clean and you're not eating any foods that you're sensitive to, about an hour, you can go and work out. If you're eating a snack or something that's specifically meant for pre-workout, then that you can play around with about 15 to 30 minutes. For example, if I work out in the morning, I may eat nothing before I work out. That's called a fasted workout. That's another topic. If you want to know more about that, I have a post on wildlyfit.ca. You could just type in fasted because there are some things you need to know if you're going to not eat before you work out to make sure that you're being safe. But what I usually do is I'll eat half a banana before I do a morning workout. So I've literally just got like a teensy bit of sugar running through me and a tiny bit of energy. And typically I'm doing like a 25, 30-ish minute workout, and that's it on half a banana. But I can eat that 15 minutes ahead of time and I'm good to go. Or other pre-workout type things. For example, like Vega Sport has these goos. It's like a bunch of dates and I don't know exactly what's in it. You take that goo, I think 15 minutes before workout. Okay, next question is about eating cake or sweets or treats after you've baked them for yourself. So what's going to happen is when you've baked an entire cake and you have one piece, it's going to be so easy for you to go and eat another piece. But what you should do is you should cut your piece. And I think this is the question, is how do you just have a little treat without eating the entire thing? So I hope I'm answering the question right. This is what I would do. I would cut a piece of the cake. I would put it on my plate. And then what I would do before I even ate it is I would wrap up the rest of the cake. And I don't mean wrap it up just to stick it in the fridge. I mean wrap it up so you can take it to go, and take it to go as soon as possible. So take it to work. Take it to a neighbor, share it with a friend, but do your friends a favor and don't share it with just one person, like share it with a family or someone so this one person doesn't feel like they should eat the entire cake. So that's what I would do for it. Now, I have to tell you, I do sometimes see online people saying like, oh, I just had a slice of cake and then I, poured salt on the rest of it. So, I mean, I'm certainly not one to judge if that's what's you think is going to make you not eat the cake. The only thing about that is when you're destroying food like that, it can lead to an unhealthy relationship with food. So, for anyone that might have seen that on the internet or had a friend say that, it's not something as a trainer that I personally recommend, because we don't want a bad relationship with food. We want a realistic relationship with food, and treats are okay. They're not horrible things that are going to make us die. There are things that we have once in a while. Okay. Oh, I have another message. Steph says, if someone can't see, on the top there is your name. To the right, there is a little question mark and then a square that looks like a Rubik's Cube. Click on that and there will be the option for Q&A, smiley face. Thank you, Steph. So if anyone has a question, go ahead and jump in. I'm going to lean down for a second and get my charger because having the video screen on is sucking up all my charge. Go, and I'm back. There. And I actually don't know if you can see this or not, and this probably doesn't look appetizing. No, it's not. It's my smoothie, my post-workout smoothie. I just came from boot camp, teaching boot camp. So good thing it's a webinar, not a seminar, because I like ran right in and I'm full of sweat, but now I'm chatting with you. Okay, snacks. Oh, I know this one was from Stefan since you're on. I can't remember all of the things that you are sensitive to or that you can eat, because some people have food sensitivities. I've been friends with Steph for a long time. That's why I know this. So she does have a handful of food sensitivities. So these are some ideas. I kind of use quinoa as a snack in many different ways. I put quinoa in yogurt. Tonight I had as a pre-workout snack quinoa with some herbs and balsamic vinegar and some chopped red peppers. And I love to use quinoa as a breakfast. So quinoa, butternut squash, and maple syrup is something I really, really like. Okay, next question. How much time spent on cardio versus strength training? So according to Canada's Physical Activity Guide, which I don't love everything that the Canadian government puts out about health, so don't mistake me as saying that, but for this specific thing, this is what I teach. Canada's Physical Activity Guide teaches 150 minutes of aerobic exercise for adults a week. And that's moderate to vigorous, so it can include some walking. So 150 minutes, you want a mix of walking. You want a mix of a mix of intensity where you're getting your heart rate up, because that's important too. And then they recommend for a healthy adult 2 days of strength training per week. So I'm saying so that you know what's important and what's your minimum. But the thing is that as far as the cardio strength relationship goes, it really depends on what your goals are. And for the person that said this, I did look up what your goals are, but I didn't want to kind of say, like, since your goals are this, so we can chat about that privately if you want. But where I always recommend, cardio is important, strength is important, but please, please, please focus in your week on cardio, strength, and flexibility or range of motion training. This is so important for your joints. It's important for your flexibility, and this has nothing to do with doing the splits in yoga class. Flexibility and range of motion has everything to do with having a healthy body that can take you through your regular range of daily activities, like bringing groceries in from the car, going up and down the stairs, gardening, even protecting yourself. For example, if you slip or fall, if you have some strength and flexibility, then you're able to recover a little bit easier from that. So strength, cardio, flexibility, or I call it range of motion, all three of those things should be in a weekly exercise routine. And then it's dependent on your goals how we kind of arrange them. And then the last question is, how do I combat next day soreness? So the best defense is a good offense. So dynamic stretching before your workout, static stretching after your workout, and then also what I find to be very important is foam rolling. If you don't have a foam roller, I do encourage you to go out and buy one. You can get it on the internet, you can grab it at a sports store. I mean, they're not super cheap, but they're not super expensive, and they last you a really long time. And I recommend that you foam roll before a workout. Basically what a foam rolling is just, it's like it's massaging your muscles and it's elongating them, and it allows you to have a better range of motion as you're doing your exercise. I also, I'm working from home now, or I was working from home even some days earlier. I really like to just go and foam roll, periodically through the day, so that I'm not like hunched up at my desk like this or tight from in the hips and things. So I like foam rolling a ton. And if you have more questions about foam rolling, let me know, because in addition to meditation, it's probably one of my top topics to talk about. I think I brought it up 3 times at boot camp tonight. Like, hey, if you're new, don't forget to go get a foam roller, because for those who've been taking boot camps with me for a couple months, I think they've all bought foam rollers already. And I don't sell them, so I'm not saying it to make money. I do sell lots of exercise stuff, but foam roller is not one of them. So I'm just saying it because it's honestly so good and so important to, kind of feeling good and not feeling tight and getting your muscles working properly. All right, so honestly, that's it. I kind of only wanted this to be about 30 minutes, and I think we started at 9:06 and it's 9:35. So I guess we went ahead and got it under 30 minutes. Now I'm going to try and get this uploaded to YouTube as soon as possible. I don't know how that happens, and I don't even know why I'm saying this, because if you're on the video, then you got all of it. If you're not on the video, then you're going to see the link when it gets up there. So there's no more questions that I can see on the right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and close out the chat so we can get the YouTube video uploaded for the couple people that weren't able to make it. And I will post every morning with what the theme of the day is. Thank you for your Motivation Monday post. And don't forget, post your theme of the day. Post any food pics, workout pics, questions, just things you love about health and fitness that you want to share with the rest of the group. And I look forward to spending the rest of the week with you. Thank you, everyone.